everybody, and welcome to the long-awaited T2 Reviews Tie 2020 collection video. I haven't done a collection video on my channel since November of 2018, and now I am super excited to be back with a brand new one. For the last few weeks now, I've been reorganizing my cars and setting them up, and now I'm about to show you all of my cars diecast. But not just the 155 scale diecast from Mattel. I'll also be showing you all my Disney Store cars, mini racers, mini adventures, and micro drifters. So make sure to stick around to see all of those different types of cars. But this won't be like your traditional collection video on my channel. Usually I just go through and basically scan across the cars. This time I'm providing commentary. This time around I'm naming every single car in my collection. So sit back and enjoy my collection. And thank you all so much for watching and for all your support over my channel from the last few years, even through this whole COPPA thing. Thank you for everybody who has stuck around. Now, onto the collection. On this table, I keep cars from Radiator Springs and the accompanying areas. Starting off with, of course, Lightning McQueen himself. So here we have Precision Series McQueen, Thailand McQueen, the original 2006 McQueen who didn't have a Rusty's logo on his spoiler, Dirt Track McQueen, Impound McQueen, Cruz McQueen, Cactus Lightning McQueen, Radiator Springs McQueen, Lightning Storm McQueen, Bling Bling McQueen, Spin Out McQueen, Dynaco McQueen, Tongue McQueen, Bug Mouth McQueen, you can't see the bugs in his mouth but they are in there, Nature Drive McQueen, the Thailand version of Tumbleweed McQueen, and the China version of Tumbleweed McQueen. One of my very few lenticular cars, Paint Mask McQueen. A shame he was only ever released as a lenticular. Night Vision McQueen, McQueen with Cone, Transforming McQueen, the first custom of the video here. This is Lightning based off of the early storyboards from cars from different deleted scenes, where he is drawn to be more of a generic looking race car, a bit less unique than his final design. That's why I repainted a car of the Bobby Swift model to make this guy. I also made the designs of this guy very simple to match with how the storyboards looked. Up next we have a few more customs based off of Lightning's alternate costumes from the Cars video games. Here we have his sort of Lightning Storm look, one of the Monster Truck alts. Onto the Storyteller series we have Sponsorless McQueen and Smellswell McQueen, one of the Cars Race-O-Rama McQueen variants, the Snowplow McQueen from Mater Saves Christmas. Moving on to Cars Toons, we have Burnt McQueen and Daredevil McQueen. Moving on to the second row, we have a plastic version of Dragon Lightning McQueen. You can see the sticker is starting to peel off there on the side. Frightening McQueen, Heavy Metal McQueen, Lightning McQueen with racing wheels or World Grand Prix McQueen, the metallic version of Hudson Hornet Piston Cup McQueen and Hudson Hornet Piston Cup McQueen with no tires. Fortunately, I do not have the regular Hudson Hornet Piston Cup McQueen. Up next, we have McQueen in clown makeup from another deleted scene. The Student Driver McQueen from To Protect and Serve, the Cancel Cars tune. Route 66 Road Trip McQueen. Rusty's Racing Center McQueen. The Thailand and China versions of Cars 3 McQueen, as well as the metallic variant of that. Rusty's McQueen. The matte paint rubber tires Chester Whipple filter. The original Chester Whipple filter without matte paint, a custom golden Chester Whipple filter, Primer McQueen, this is his single release with a sad face. Here we have the Sandy Rusty's Racing Center McQueen, Fabulous McQueen, a custom Damaged McQueen, Cupcake McQueen, Fireball Beach Racer McQueen, the Thomasville Racer Metallic Fabulous McQueen, a custom, this was the McQueen I used in McQueen's team, and then in Redline, now it's like a super damaged variant based off of how it appeared in Redline. This is a custom McQueen that I made. I repainted the custom McQueen I used in Redline and made it into a blue version of that. Here we have Protectors of Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen from Cars Adventures. And my most recent custom McQueen, probably one of my personal favorite customs of all time, this is Return to Radiator Springs McQueen. And then we have the three XRS McQueens, Mud Racing, Drag Racing, and finally the rocket racing one. Mater has to be one of my favorite characters to collect the variants of, and he is next. Here we have the Precision Series Mater, and the light up Mater, also from the Precision series. Here we have a Mater from 2017 and my original broken one from 2006. Brand new Mater, Mater with oil can, another lenticular car of mine. Keep the oil can in his back there. One-eyed Mater, Mater based off of some insane deleted scene from the first Cars movie where he switches bodies with McQueen. Again, he's based off of the storyboards, that's why he looks that way. Next we have Mater with cone teeth. Weehoo Winter Mater. Mater as Darth Vader, the Death Star battle version, him in the TIE Advanced. Here we have Rescue Squad Mater, a plastic Mater the Greater, High Dive Mater, Cannonball Mater. No, this is not the real El Matador, this is a plastic one from a playset. Here we have Beanie Hat Mater, Rastafarian Mater, Aviator Mater, probably my favorite of the Maters. Then moving on to Cars 2, we have Race Team Mater, Mater the Waiter, that's funny right there. Mater with all-in-all cans, Mater Hosen, another personal favorite of mine. Wasabi Mouth Mater, Mater without tires. The Fighting Face Mater, Super Chase Mater with duct tape, Mater with the lightning bolt hat. Moving on to the next row, the fan favorites Mater with 95 hat, and the regular Mater with the 95 hat. This is based off of another deleted scene from the end of Cars 3. This is a fabulous version of Mater. He's got a 51 flag there. Definitely have to redo that one. The two variants of Fireball Beach Racer Mater, Protector of Radiator Springs Mater. Now moving on to Sally, we have Precision Series Light Up Sally, the 2018 new Sally variant, the Metallic Sally, the 2017 and 2018 Radiator Springs Classic Cars 3 Sally with Tattoo. That was way too long of a name. Here we have the original Sally, Snow Day Sally, and two customs, my Dynaco Sally from Cars Adventures, and next to that the original one. Both of these are Cruz repaints. Moving on to Doc, here we have his Precision Series variant, my original regular Doc Hudson, the Hudson Hornet, and the Hudson Hornet with a headset. This one, my regular Hudson Hornet, is the original release with the inaccurate white tires instead of the red ones. Here we have the Cars 3 dirt track Hudson Hornet with the dirt on the sides, and a custom damaged Hudson Hornet. Moving on to Luigi and Guido. Here we have Precision Series Luigi. Unfortunately, I have Precision Series Luigi, but not Precision Series Guido, so I just have a regular Guido with him. Here we have the 2017 Luigi and Guido. They started using these around 2012, 2013, I think, but I got mine in 2017. Then we have my original Luigi and Guido. You can tell the difference because the original Luigi doesn't have the black rim around the eyes. Then we have Pit Crew member Guido, the Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido variants, the C-3PO and R2-D2 Luigi and Guido variants, Race Team Luigi. Unfortunately, I am missing Race Team Guido. I lost him while I was on vacation years ago. I think he's the only car that I've ever lost, or just one of a few. Then we have their headset variants, the Wheelwell Guido from Cars 2, and Luigi with flag from Cars 3, the Fireball Beach Racer variants of Luigi and Guido, and finally my Golden Guido trophy from my canceled 2019 Diecast Awards video. Moving on to Sheriff, we have Sheriff and fan favorite Sheriff. That's it for Sheriff. Moving on to Flo, we have Precision Series Flo, 2018 new version of Flo. Here we have a more recent version of Flo. This is from the Nikki B and Flo 2-pack. Then moving on to here, we have my original Flo. Then Flo with Trey and Pit Crew member Flo. And finally for Flo, Road Trip Flo. Ramon, another personal favorite of mine. Who doesn't like collecting different Ramon variants? Here we have the Precision Series Ramon, not the light up one. This is the original with the hydraulics. 2018 new purple Ramon, original purple Ramon, hydraulic purple Ramon, green Ramon being obstructed here by Sarge's cannon. We'll get to that in a minute. Hydraulic Ramon, and by that I mean red Ramon, who for some weird reason is labeled as hydraulic Ramon, which is really confusing because that is a hydraulic Ramon. Yellow Ramon, hydraulic yellow Ramon with the paint gun there. Here we have the 2020 new version of Old School Ramon and the old school Ramon. See what I did there? It wasn't clever at all. These guys are also known as Cruz and Ramon originally. Hydraulic Lightning Ramon and Regular Lightning Ramon. Ghost Light Ramon. The Christmas Holiday Ramon, I forget what it's called. The Body Shop Ramon from Cars 2. This is the one without the paint gun. Radiator Springs Ramon, one of my favorite Ramones. Union Jack Body Shop Ramon, basically Union Jack Ramon with paint gun. Route 66 Road Trip Ramon. Florida Ramon and its metallic counterpart. Intro Ramon, 10 out of 10. Great job, guys. Great name, very clever. Wonder why they call it Intro Ramon. Probably appeared at the end of the movie. Moving on, Fan Favorites Ramon, and finally this custom silver and gold Ramon, a Ramon that I really need to update there. Moving on to Fillmore, turns out that the majority of my Fillmores are just variants of regular Fillmore. Here we have the Precision Series Fillmore, the Precision Series Glow in the Dark Fillmore, the 2019 new model Fillmore, a 2017 Fillmore, and my original Fillmore. I got a replacement Fillmore because the original one, the back wheels broke. Here we have the Radiator Springs Classic Fillmore that's looking up. The Pit Crew Member Fillmore from Cars 1. Fuel Tide Cheer Fillmore. And finally for Fillmore, the road trip variant of him. Sarge, another one of my favorite characters. Another one of my favorites to collect. Here we have his Precision Series variants, both of them. The regular and the light up. That'll work. There we go. Here we have my original Sarge. Lenticular Sarge, or Robo Sarge in my series. Saluting Sarge. Sarge with cannon. The Sarge with roof lights variant, or as I like to call him, highly caffeinated Sarge. What is going on with his expression? Sarge with headset. Road Trip Sarge. Fan Favorite Sarge. And my custom Army Sarge, who's in silver and gold there. Moving on to Lizzie, we have Lizzie. That's it for Lizzie. Moving on to Red, we have Precision Series Red. The Cars 2, or basically sized up Red. Original Red. Although he's inaccurate, he probably has my favorite expression of a red diecast. And Chewbacca Red. Here we have a custom car, Patrick Pace, from my series. Currently, he is in a design based off of the Protectors of Radiator Springs. I need to get a second Patrick just to be a regular Patrick. We have Frank alongside the 2017 Radiator Springs Classics and original tractor, and two baby tractors from Cars Land, Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Up next we have Van and Minnie. Fortunately, I don't have any of their variants. Then we have TJ, Charlie Cargo, Frank Pinkerton. These are all their original releases, by the way. Then we have Murphy here. That is his 2018 update. And then we have the original Murphy there. Next we have the Michael Schumacher Ferrari F430, I believe was the number. Antonio Veloce Excelente, Marilyn and Metallic Marilyn, Nick stickers and Metallic Nick stickers. These are some customs based off of the video games. El Guapo, Emma, Candace, a Lightning McQueen Racing School student, and a Chick Hicks Racing School student. Then here we have the Radiator Springs Racers in red, green, blue, purple, and gold. Otis, three of Luigi's cousins from the Luigi ride at Cars Land. I forget their names, unfortunately, but they were all individually named. Mike 07 and DD 05 from the Cancel to Protect and Serve short. And then just a few background characters from My Cars Adventure series. This is Tony Track. He was in quite a few episodes. He was like a paint store worker. He was like a painter who hires Ramon. This is a green pickup truck, repaint of a plastic Smoky. This red car was a repaint of Flo. Then we have this blue Mater. It's actually a Precision Series Mater I repainted. I repainted it because it was missing its hook. The hook broke off. I used it as Tater once in an earlier Cars Adventures episode. Moving on to some cars from the flashbacks. Dustin Mellows, Greta, Edwin Cranks, Hank Halloween Murphy, Timothy Timezone Truecoat, Nikki B, Jonas Rivera there. Moving on to the final row of the table here, we have Leroy Traffic, Metallic DJ. My original DJ is in about 10 pieces in a bin somewhere, but I do hope to get a replacement soon. Snot Rod with Flames, regular old Snot Rod. This is his original variant. Newer snot rods have a different color engine there on the hood. Boost. Wingo. This is Gil from the rest stop. I only have his cab. That's why he's here and not with the other haulers. And my custom graveyard cars. These guys are based off of a deleted scene where lightning stumbles into a graveyard. It was then kind of remade for the Radiator Springs 500 and a half. I wrapped them up in green string to represent vines. They're all totally destroyed here. This one might look familiar. He used to be a damaged Jackson Storm Custom that I used in Cars Adventures for a bit. Then we have Sully, Mike, the Yeti, Woody, Buzz, and Ham, representing, of course, the other Pixar characters in car form. And finally, ending out the table, Wicket and Logray, the Ewok Pitties. Moving on, this section here is for characters from other places. From different places around the world in Cars 2, or just different places in America in Cars 3, as well as a couple of custom cars. These guys used to be on my table, but I moved them for storage reasons, and I think it makes sense to give them their own little area. Starting off with the Chrome Agents from Cars 2, we have Finn McMissile, the Submarine Finn McMissile variant, Holly Shiftwell, Rod Torque Redline, and Damaged Rod Torque Redline, if you could see him over Sergeant Highgear's hat. Moving on to the Lemons, we have Miles Axelrod. Moving on to the Lemons, we have Miles Axelrod, Grem and Acer, as well as Acer with headset, Professor Z, Alexander Hugo with party hat, Victor Hugo, Tubbs Pacer, Vladimir Trunkov with the parking boot. I don't have his regular variant. This is a custom of that blue gremlin with a headset who speaks in London in Cars 2 and somehow is still yet to be released. Please put him in the London Chase series. Come on, the Disney Store did it. Just make him already. We have Jerome Ramped, one of the Pacers with a torch from the beginning of the movie. Here we have Tolga and Petrov Trunkov. Up next we have Don Crumlin and these two guys. I believe their names are Angelo and Antonio from the casino in Cars 2. I put them with the Lemons because this guy is carrying the phone that Miles Axelrod speaks over. Moving on to the cars from Tokyo. First off, we have these two guys, both Super Chases, Takeshi and Hiroaki from that Wipeout parody. I didn't put them with the other TV cars because those are all like press cars or news show anchors and they don't really fit with those. Next we have the Sushi Chefs, the Wasabi guys, Desu and Edamame Sashimi. Zen Master, this is his variant without the mustache. Shigeko, I believe. Kingpin Nobunaga. Kamura Kaizo. Unfortunately, I don't have Pinion Tanaka. Here we have Taya Decatora peeking through behind that Jeep. Vic Vanley. Mike Fuse. Bob Pulley. Up next we have Harumi and Chisaki, as well as Jesse Hollander here. Up next are some guys from the Tokyo airport, Uchi and Ruka. Uchi is one of my favorite Cars diecasts. Moving on to France, we have Tombe, who I decided not to put with the Agents or the Lemons. He's an informant. He doesn't really have a side, I don't think, so I just put him with the Paris cars. Then we have Lubwig. Unfortunately, I do not have Geertrude, who goes along with him. Although I do have the mime here, Louis LaRue. Moving on to Uncle Topolino and Mama Topolino in Italy, alongside Franca, Uncle Topolino's band, and Megan Carrara, complete with her sign. I didn't put her with the race fan since she just appears on like a news broadcast in Italy driving over, an all-in-all sign. Moving on to cars from London, Sergeant Highgear. Then coming in from Ye Left Turn In, we have Chauncey Fares. Topper Deckington III, still definitely one of the coolest Cars diecasts, I think. We have Scott Spark, the police car. Then moving on to guys from Cars 3, we have Scott Tiller here, just appeared in the travel montage, so I decided to put him here. And then we have cars from Thomasville, not counting Smokey and the Legends. The Legends are with my race cars, and Smokey is with Lightning's pit crew. We'll get to those in a bit. Here we have Sweet Tea, Andrew Vrooman, Jenny Toland, who appeared both here and at Thunder Hollow, just decided to put her in Thomasville. Bill Revs, Vanden Kerr, Gen Tan Sedan, and Xanadu bumpers. Finally, we have some of my custom cars from my Redline movie. Didn't really know a better place to put them. These are all the different Redline agents. This is the head agent 1616. They all have numbers on the side. This is 1333. And I'm not too sure what the numbers of these other guys are. I can't see them, but they were all in Redline there. And then we have a few different miscellaneous background characters from Redline. The maintenance truck, I believe it was. The sheriff repaint was a security guard. And this guy right here, Sarge repaint, was a trainer. I also had a Pity, which was a Guido repaint, but he has now become the second car I have ever lost. I searched everywhere, and I don't know where this guy was, but he should be here. These guys are the ones I'm sure a lot of you came here to see. Here are my race cars, 2 whole shelves full of them. Here we have Thailand Chick Hicks and China Chick Hicks. Silver Chick Hicks, a very cool release. Dynaco Chick Hicks. Chick Hicks as Boba Fett, a car who as a concept really just cracks me up. Here we have a Chick Hicks with headset that I just took the headset off of. And Chick Hicks with headset himself. Here we have the Thailand version of the King and my original version of the King, as well as the pretty rare Damaged the King. This is my custom The King from Cars Adventures, self-sponsored The King. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Thailand Mario Andretti, regular Mario Andretti, and metallic Mario Andretti. I should probably put him with the race fans since we don't actively see him race, but that's fine. Then we have Chuck Armstrong, Mood Springs, his 2019 re-release, who doesn't have the mouth colored in for some reason. I don't know, that might just be mine. Aiken Axler, Nitro Wade. Here we have Claude Scruggs, Leakless. Winford Bradford Rutherford, of course the RPM racer, definitely one of the most fun names to say in the Cars franchise. Billy Oil Changer, Lee Revkins, and the Thailand plasticky looking, although it is metal, weird shade of purple, Happy Meal quality Lee Revkins. I'm sorry, this guy just looks awful. So let's stop looking at him. Brush Kerber, Kevin Racing Tire, Davey Apex / Dave Alternators. When I bought him, he was Davey Apex. The metallic version of Ryan Shields, James Clean Air, Greg Candyman, Hall Ingas, and Ruby Easy Oaks. That is it for my racers from Cars 1. Moving on to Cars 2 in the World Grand Prix and TROC. We have Francesco Bernoulli, Jeff Gorvette, Cars 3 Jeff Gorvette, a custom Team Lightning McQueen Jeff Gorvette, a guy that really is not looking too good. Thailand and regular original 2011 Lewis Hamilton, Shu Todoroki, Carlo Veloso, Thailand Raul Sarul, original 2011 Raul Sarul, the stunt racer Raul Sarul, Neon Raul Sarul, Max Schnell, Nigel Gearsley, a car who I've been trying to collect all the variants of for a few years now. So we have his regular variant, the Nigel Gearsley with flames. This is its original release, not the 2021. Silver Nigel Gearsley, and side note, Silver Nigel Gearsley is the only car that I have kept in the package. As you can see here, he's the only one that I have unopened as well. I don't collect cars in the package, but I do have that one. Up next, Carbon Racer Nigel Gearsley, so definitely still quite a few to get if I want to have them all. Unfortunately, I don't have the regular Miguel Camino, but I have both the metallic and the silver one. Then we have Rip Kluchkansky with a very unfortunate large dent up front there, and the Ice Racer version of Vitaly Petrov, I believe that was his name. Moving on to Cars 3 with the legends Luis Nash, River Scott, Heyday River Scott, Junior Moon, Junior Midnight Moon, Heyday Jr., and Hot Rod Jr. Side note, where are the Hot Rod variants of these two? Leroy Hemming, Jet Robinson, this one here is Randy Lawson, Slim Hood, and Eli Turnpike. Moving on to the veteran racers, the regular pre-next gen cars. Cal Weathers and his metallic variant, Thomasville Cal. The rest of the Cals are customs here, aside from the XRS one. This is a damaged Cal. From... Well, originally this guy was for Hey Cal 2, but I never ended up making that. I believe I made him into a Team McQueen variant. Then Redline Cal. And finally XRS Mud Racing Cal. Moving on to Bobby Swift, we have the regular and metallic variants, and a Team McQueen variant, once again from my McQueen's Team movie. And the same goes for Brick, regular and Team McQueen. We have Phil Tankson and his Redline custom variant from, of course, my Redline movie. Brian Spark, Jimmy Cables, and an accompanying Redline Jimmy Cables. Ralph Carlo, Dirksen D'Agostino, and his Redline variant. Cars 3 Darren Leadfoot there. Speedy Comet, the original launcher release. And XRS Mud Racing Speedy. Here we have Carl Clutchin, Dino Draftsky, and his Mud Racing variant. Here we have corrected Terry Cargas and the original Terry Cargas next to him. Reb Meeker and Reb's Thomasville variant. Dud Throttleman, Bruce Miller, Buck Bearingley, Ernie Gearson, and a Redline variant for him as well. Jack DePost, Marcus Kranksler, Rev Rodages, Floyd Mulvihill, his Cars 3 variant. I don't have the regular TG Castlenut, but I do have his Mud Racing variant. Chip Gearings, Thomasville Chip Gearings, a Redline Chip Gearings. Parker Breakston and his Thomasville variant. Tommy Highbanks, corrected Cars 3 Paunchy Wipeout. Up next here we have Paunchy Wipeout, it's original Cars 3 variant, who looks like he got hit in the eyes. Thomasville Paunchy, Rex Reveler and his metallic variant. And the Cars 3 versions of Todd Marcus and Murray Clutchburn. Moving on to Cruz, who I put here with my racers, just because I think she definitely fits there. Although she could also fit with Radiator Springs cars, I just prefer having her here. We have Francis Beltline, Trainer Cruz, original Cruz, the Rusty's Cruz variant. This, I believe, is the Sandy Cruz, Dynaco Cruz, the original Dynaco Cruz, Fireball Beach Racer Cruz, my original Chicks Picks Cruz, who I repainted. Cozy Cone Cruz from the Cars Adventures episode Cruz Turns. And then this variant of Cruz, who I'm sure you'll all recognize as the more recent Chicks Picks Cruz, after I made her good in Cars Adventures and had her stop racing for Chicks Picks. I replaced the original purple on her with blue, and I'm yet to fill in a logo. You'll just have to see what goes in that space eventually. Then we have an XRS Mud Racer Cruz and a repaint I did where I swapped the blue out for purple and added some 86s instead of 51s in case I ever decided to adapt the XRS into my series. Except now it would no longer look like that, so now I'll have to get a third XRS Cruz. Moving on though, we have the Drag Racing Cruz and the Rocket Racing Cruz. Moving on to Jackson Storm, a guy who just has an absolute ton of customs, because there is always a Jackson Storm in every single multi-pack. Here we have Normal Jackson Storm, Silver Jackson, Fireball Beach Racer Jackson. Now moving on to customs, a lot of these I updated. I updated the eyes of these guys for my for this video actually. Here we have Racer 17 Jackson, Vampire Jackson, Damage Jackson, Primer Jackson, and finally Protectors of Radiator Springs Jackson. Now we continue with the official Jackson Storms, Thomasville Racer Jackson, and the 3 XRS Jacksons, Mud, Drag, and Rocket Racing. Moving on, we have Danny Suarez, his purple and blue variants, then Fireball Beach Danny, and making its first appearance ever in this video, a Redline Danny. Now, I know I made Redline in October of 2018, but I decided may as well make a few more Redline variants since I really did enjoy them, and I had a spare Danny Suarez laying around, so I decided why not, may as well, right? Moving on, we have Bubble Wheelhouse, Ryan Inside Laney, his Fireball Beach Racer variant, a damaged variant, and him from a Cars Adventures episode where he dresses up as a graveyard car. That's why his quality isn't as high as the other ones. It was just a costume he put on. Up next we have Chase Race-A-Lot, Fireball Beach Racer Chase Race-A-Lot, and this red Chase Race-A-Lot that you'll all probably recognize from my intro. This is actually a Redline Chase Race-A-Lot. I just never finished it. I put it in the intro when I started making it, completely forgot about it, and then finished it about a week ago. So maybe I'll have a closer look at that at a later date. Up next we have Flipped Over, best name ever. Here we have Tim Treadless with a metallic or shinier red than the original Tim Treadless here, who just had a more bland red. XRS Drag Racing Tim Treadless. Cam Spinner and his Fireball Beach Racer variant. Right next to Rich Mixon and his Fireball Beach Racer variant. I put these two next to each other because they are the two of the playable next gens in Cars 3 Driven to Win. Herb Kerbler, another favorite name of mine, and him as Jet Robinson there. Paul Conrev and his Beach Racer variant. Harvey Rodcap. Michael Roeder. I somehow don't have his Fireball Beach Racer variant, but I do have the normal one. Ed Trunken. Richie Gunza and his Beach Racer variant. Chris Roman. Conrad Camber and his Beach Racer variant. The Rev and Go Tractor. I decided to put the tractor variants on this shelf, although I don't have any of the other ones aside from the Rev and Go one. Dan Garcia, Steve Slick LePage and his Mud and Rocket Racing variants. Sheldon Shifter and his Fireball Beach Racer variant, as well as his Redline variant. JD McPillar and a damaged custom. Custom JP Drive. HJ Hollis, Fireball Beach Racer HJ Hollis, and Noah Gokek, who looks really similar to HJ Hollis, so I should probably move him. Eric Breaker, I believe. Yeah, that one is Eric Breaker. Then we have Barry DePedal and his XRS, and terrible looking in my opinion. I just really don't like the eyes. Rocket Racing variant. George Newwin and his XRS variant. Spiky Phillips and his Drag Racing variant, and finally a custom next-gen Shifty Drug using my own design. This is the area where I keep all of my pit crews, reporters, Piston Cup staff, fans, haulers, and also air vehicles relating to the Cars series. I keep the Planes characters in another place. Starting off with Rusty's team members, we have pit crew member Mac. Unfortunately, I don't have a regular Mac, but I do have another Mac that you'll see in just a minute. We have Dusty and Rusty. My name is not Chuck. Longbed Smokey. Original Shorter Smokey. Heyday Smokey. Hot Rod Smokey. Sterling and Sterling with headset. Then all of these Rusty's Racing Center trainees. Starting off with Kurt and Kurt with bug teeth. Then Gabriel, Ronald, Aiden, I believe this is Johnny, Shriram, and finally Tom W. there all the way at the end. Moving on to the Chick Hicks team, we have Chief Chick and Bruiser Bukowski. Moving on to cars from Dynaco, we have Tex Dynaco, a version of him that I got in 2017. And next to that, my original Tex Dynaco. Here we have Mrs. the King, Linda Weathers. Dynaco Showgirl number 1, Roger Wheeler, Luke Petalberg. The cab for Gray. Moving on to Team Leakless, we have Earl Filter, the crew chief. 2 Stacys, the Leakless Short Pity and the Leakless Wide Pity. Going on to the second row here, we have Petrol Pulaski for RPM, Mike Stakar for Transberry Juice alongside CB, Megan Shifter for Fiber Fuel, the Trunk Fresh Pity, Brian Imagir for Taco Mint, Dan Holland for Sputter Stop, Dale Ruffalo for Gaskets, the Easy Auto Pity. Now moving on to teams from Cars 2. For Francesco's team, we have Giuseppe Motorsi and Alex Machino. For Jeff Gorvet's team, John Lassetire and Turbo Bullock. For Lewis Hamilton, we have Bruce Bachman and Mak Matsuo for Shu Todoroki. Then we have Cruz Basoro, the other Cruz from the Cars movies, and Adam Park for Carlo Veloso. Then we have Bruno Motoro alongside Emmanuel Maniez, I believe. Otto Bond for Max Schnell. Of course, these two are Raoul's crew. Austin Littleton and Nick Pittire for Nigel Gearsley. Petro Cardellina and Honk Cho for Miguel Camino. And Brian Gierlewski and Terrell Geartree for Rip Klutchkonsky. Moving on to Piston Cup staff, we have Dexter Hoover with green and checkered flags, Charlie Checker, Race Tow Truck Tom, or Tow, or whatever name you want to go with for him, Richard Clayton Kensington and Marlon Clutches McKay, Race Official Tom, Moving on to some World Grand Prix staff, we have Eric Langley and Alex Carville. Now moving on to staff members from Cars 3, the corrected Chris Revstopski with a green flag, and the original Chris Revstopski with her checkered flag, Pat Traxon and Tiny Lugsworth. Moving on to reporters, announcers, and the like, we have Daryl Cartrip and Daryl Cartrip with headset, Bob Cutlass and Cars 3 Bob Cutlass, Corey Turbowitz, Jay Lemo, Chuki, Dan Sklarkenberg, Kim Carlins, Chuck Manifold, Andrea, I believe it's Andrea, and Human, and Studs McGirdle. Moving on to Cars 2, we have Brent Mustangberger and David Hobbscap. Then we have Mel Dorado and Lee Rosse. Lee himself is not a reporter, but he appeared on the Mel Dorado show, and I really didn't have a better place to put him. Nick Cartone, now on to reporter cars from Cars 3, Natalie Certain, Shannon Spokes, and Wheel Del Lee. Now moving on to fans, starting off with fans of McQueen. We have Mia and Tia, their Dynaco variants, their Waitress variants, Mia's over there, and Tia is here, and their Golden variants. Up next we have Fred, Larry Camper, Michael Sparkber, Donna Pitts, Craig Faster. My only McQueen fan from Cars 2 is Courtney Karsper here. We have the Thailand version of Maddie McGear, the China version of Maddie McGear, and the fan favorites version of Maddie McGear, alongside her mother, Melissa Bernabrake. My only fan of the King here is Matthew True Blue McCrew. Now on to fans from the first Cars movie who don't have any specific accessories saying they're a fan of a certain car. Elvis RV, Coriander Wytrek and Brake Boyd, JW, Patty, Todd the Pizza Planet truck, and his Cars 3 clean variant. Ironic because in Cars 3, Todd the Pizza Planet truck shows up at a Demolition Derby, which is extremely muddy, so it's kind of funny that the Cars 3 version of him is the clean one. Paul Valdez, Bud, my first ever review, Van Scanlane, and two members of the Autobahn Society here, Michelle Motoretta and Heather Dreyfing. Moving on to fans from Cars 2, we have Mama Bernoulli, Clutch Foster, and Denise Beam. And finally, some unaffiliated fans from Cars 3, Keel Motoray and Steve Herschel. And now, on to the haulers. Starting off, here we have Jocko Flacco, Cal Weathers hauler, Bobby Swift's hauler, Steve Karski, Speedy Comet's hauler, Chip Gearing's hauler, and the Cars 3 Paunchy Wipeouts hauler. Moving on to the air vehicles, we have Rotor Turbowski. This is his original single release. Later releases had him be sized up. Then we have Barney Storman with plastic wings. A later release of him, or other releases of him, had metal wings. This is the plastic one. We have Aloft the Lightyear blimp and the Cars 3 version of the Lightyear blimp. I'm not sure if this is still Aloft, but I just decided to put him next to the Lightyear blimp. Kathy Copter, Marco, and Ron Hover. Here in this corner, we have all of my Demolition Derby cars. I gave them all their own section because they really don't fit in anywhere else. They don't fit in with the regular race cars because those are all professional race cars and these guys are just doing it for fun. And also, they don't fit in with those cars from different places around the world because I don't have any race cars over there. These guys are just too specific, I think, so they deserve their own section. Here we have Miss Fritter, the corrected version with matte paint and the razor blade shaped stop sign. Then we have the original one with the glossy finish and an octagon stop sign that does not fold out. Here we have RV, Dr. Damage, Superfly, Taco, Pushover, Bill, Patty, T-Bone, Jimbo, and APB back there. Then we have Hit, Run, Blind Spot, Pile Up, High Impact, Tailgate, Fishtail, Jambalaya Chimichanga, Liability, Sig Alert, and a custom silver Sig Alert, Blind Spot, Airborne, and then on to cars that work at the Demolition Derby, the corrected Deluxe Roscoe, the original Roscoe, and Mr. Drippy. Now on to viewers of the Derby, or former participants in the case of Todd Crash here, Mo Revlin, Motor Turner, and Kevin Ryvan. Over here, right on the left of these guys, I have the cars from Mater's Tall Tales. Up first, from Rescue Squad Mater, Nurse GTO. The Orderly Pities from Mater the Greater, Lug and Nutty, alongside Buck the Tooth Vendor. Chewy from El Matador. Then the rest, most of the rest are from Tokyo Mater, my favorite of the Toons. Kabuto, Ito-san, Patoka, a plastic wide load crane who came with a playset. Komodo, Yokoza, Kayandi, Kaorisu, Manji, Vanson, and from Heavy Metal Mater, Eddie and Rocky. Down here we have what's probably my favorite item in my entire collection. This right here is the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Neon Racers box set, featuring this really cool light-up feature and exclusive variants of Neon McQueen and Shu Todoroki. Definitely my favorite item in my collection. And down here we have my Plains characters. I don't have many, which is good because I don't have any more room in this section of the shelf. I would like to get more in the future, but I don't really see that happening. I would like to order some online, though. Anyway, we have Vitaminimulch Air Spectacular Dusty Crop Hopper, Firefighter Dusty, Chug, Vitaminimulch Air Spectacular Chug. Back here is the Air Spectacular Sparky, unfortunately the only version of Sparky released, El Chupacabra, and Maru. Up next, we have the Racer Customs. I used to have a whole lot more of these, but I've repurposed several. So now I'm only down to a couple of them. Up first, we have variants of my channel mascot, Ty. Up first, we have regular Ty, Pity Cart Ty, the original Ty, or actually this was the second version of Ty. I've kept it completely untouched since I originally painted it, because I think that's kind of cool. And finally, the most recent one, finally, an accurate variant of Ty based off of my profile picture. Then onto the Racer Customs themselves, since when I used Ty in Cars Adventures, he was actually a crew chief. We have Fabulous, Dynaco, Ronnie, BGM, Jaden, and Ultimate. Up next, we have my Hydro Wheels and Splash Racers. I really miss the Hydro Wheels. These were fun. They were cars made to go in the water. And then they made the Splash Racers coinciding with the release of Cars 3, and I was really disappointed by them. They're so obnoxiously loud and a bit more over the top, so I have less of those. Anyway, let's start off with McQueen, Dynaco McQueen, World Grand Prix McQueen, Mater, Ramon, both of which have been obstructed by the ridiculous rubber water on the back of the Splash Racers there, Sarge, the King, and Nigel Gearsley. Then we have Cruz and Dynaco Cruz Splash Racers, the Jackson Storm Splash Racer, and the RV Splash Racer. Then a custom Hydro Wheel of Fabulous, and Dusty Crop Hopper. This is the area where I keep my mini racers. It's on this white bookshelf. Actually, this is the same exact bookshelf that I review my cars on. It's pretty long and it stretches across most of my room. At the very end of it is my little reviewing area where I do my reviews and film the majority of my videos. Now, regarding the mini racers, I actually have quite a few mini racers in my collection that I don't keep in this area. And that's because they are my unpainted spare cars. Usually whenever I have spare cars, I repaint them and repurpose them, make them into customs. But for the mini racers, I have so many of them, and so many are of the same few characters that I oftentimes don't know what to do with them, so I just keep them in another place. You guys will see that in a minute. It's full of spare minis and unfinished customs. But now on to the mini racers. Up first we have Cruz and Lightning McQueen, Metallic Dynaco McQueen, Rusty's Racing Center McQueen, Cars 3 McQueen, Metallic Cars 3 McQueen, Gold Cars 3 McQueen, and Glow in the Dark Cars 3 McQueen. Metallic Rusty's McQueen. I don't believe they've ever done a regular Rusty's McQueen, which is pretty weird. Chester Whipple Filter and a custom golden version. Fabulous Lightning McQueen and a metallic variant. Dirty or Muddy Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. The Dynaco Wrap Cars 3 McQueen. And finally for McQueen, the XRS McQueen. Moving on to Mater. We have regular Mater, brand new Mater, a custom Mini Racers heavy metal Mater, a Mater that I made a little paper lightning bolt hat for, so technically I guess it's kind of a custom. Rusty's Racing Center wrap Mater, Dynaco wrap Sally, Doc Hudson, the Fabulous Hudson Hornet, and Metallic Fabulous Hudson Hornet, Luigi, and glow-in-the-dark Luigi, Sheriff, Flo, Ramon, Metallic Ramon, Gold Ramon, Hydraulic Ramon, or Red Ramon, whatever you want to call it, Yellow Ramon, a custom Ghostlight Ramon, and Florida Ramon. Then we have Sarge. Fortunately, I don't have Fillmore, although he is out. And then we have Red, and another variant of Red right over here at the start of the next row, the Rusty's Wrap Red. Say that 10 times fast. Then moving on to Chick Hicks, we have his regular variant, and then the silver variant. Dynaco Chick Hicks and Metallic Dynaco Chick Hicks. The King, Metallic the King, and Silver the King. Luis Nash and River Scott. Great to finally see Junior Moon getting a release for the Mini Racers. Finally complete the legends there. Cal, Metallic Cal, and Silver Cal, just like his uncle, the King. Murray Clutchburn. Unfortunately, I never found those Mini Racer boxes, so I am missing most of the race cars. Then moving on to Cruz, we have Francis Beltline, regular Cruz, Metallic Cruz, Rusty's Cruz, Gold Rusty's Cruz, or Metallic Rusty's Cruz, whatever you want to call it. Thomasville Cruz, glow-in-the-dark Thomasville Cruz, Dynaco Cruz, a custom original Chicks Picks Cruz, and XRS Cruz. Moving on to Jackson Storm, we have his regular variant, Metallic Jackson Storm. I believe this one is the glow-in-the-dark Jackson Storm. A custom Racer 17 Jackson Storm from Cars Adventures. And finally, Drag Racing Jackson Storm. XRS Jackson Storm. Then we have Danny Sorvez and his metallic and glow-in-the-dark counterparts. Ryan Inside Laney. Tim Treadless, Metallic Tim Treadless, Silver Tim Treadless, and glow-in-the-dark Tim Treadless. And then, wrapping up things for the racers, we have Bubba Wheelhouse. Moving on to the pit crews and reporters, etc., we have Smokey, Sterling, Natalie Certain, and Silver Natalie Certain. And we end things off with the Demolition Derby cars. Miss Fritter, Fair Game, Arvy, Dr. Damage, Mr. Drippy. Then we have APB, Jimbo, Fishtail, Sigalert, and finally a custom of Ty, my channel mascot. Moving on to the Disney Store cars, I've been collecting these for a much shorter amount of time, and I basically pick and choose which ones I want to get compared to the Mattel cars, where I basically get every new release that I see or attempt to do that. Anyway, here we have Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen, Cars 2 Lightning McQueen, Fabulous Lightning McQueen, Midnight Run Lightning McQueen, Spy Mater with the stadium hat here, the Fabulous Hudson Hornet Doc, Sheriff, Flo, Intro Ramon. It's got that pretty cool feature. DJ, Snot Rod, Boost, and over here Wingo, Spy Finn, Holly with Wings, Grem, Acer, Professor Z. Here we have Vladimir Trunkov, Tom Bay, The King, Todd Marcus, Slider Petrolsky, and Darren Leadfoot, Cars 3 Jeff Gorvet, Raul Cerul, Rip Klutchkonsky, Frosty Winterbottom, Memos Rojas Jr., another junior here, Junior Moon, Cal Weathers, Cruz, Costume Girl Cruz, or Thomasville Cruz, it's her as Jackson Storm, Track Damage Cruz, Tank Coat Tractor, Ed Trunken, JP Drive, Heyday Smokey, Gabriel, Aiden, Tex Dynaco, Daryl Cartrib, and Todd the Pizza Planet Truck. These are my mini adventures, and right next to them are my micro drifters. We have Cruz and McQueen, whose eye plate unfortunately has fallen inward. The Firefighter McQueen, this like Ramon's Bodyguard McQueen, I don't remember specifically what it was called. A Sarge's Surplus Hut McQueen, Fire Truck Mater, and a Ramon's Body Shop Mater. Firefighter Doc, a Lightning McQueen paint scheme version of Flo, and Firefighter Flo. Ramon, Lightning Ramon, and this Ramon's House of Body Art Ramon variant. Sarge, Red, a Ramon's House of Body Art tractor, which is really a funny concept in my opinion. We have a regular DJ, a House of Body Art Snot Rod, a regular Wingo, this House of Body Art Chick Hicks, a regular version of the King, and a Firefighter version of the King. Then moving on to the Micro Drifter, sorry if you can't see them. We have Cars 2 McQueen, Mater, Sally, Luigi, Guido, Red, Francesco, Jeff Gorvette, Max Schnell, and 3 Planes, Dusty, Arturo, and Sunwing. I really don't have another place to put these guys, so they're just here. These are from a plastic 5-pack from the Disney store. They are in scale with the Mattel cars, but not made by Mattel, and also they're plastic. They're all from Monster Truck Mater. Here we have Frightening McMean, the Tormentor, the Ice Screamer, Patty O Concrete, and finally here we have the Rastakarian. I don't put this next section on display. This is just kind of a bonus for this video. These are all of my different plastic, like hauler play sets that carry cars and other sort of car carrier vehicles. I don't put anything in them aside from the last one, which I'll get to in just a minute. So up first we have this Mac from the first Cars movie. I'm also going to show what these do. He had a ramp that could be lowered down so you could drive the cars out. Then we have the story set Mac here, who is huge, and he opens up to reveal a bunch of cool stuff, including some story set track. Move him off to the side here. Up next we have the Dynaco Cruz Ramirez hauler, who opens up, of course, just like that. Same little play area, pretty cool. Then we have Gail Buford, or Gail Boffert, Jackson Storms hauler. This is the original version, which is really long. It opens up and has a bunch of cool different stuff. This is probably my favorite of all of these haulers, since it was also our first Gail Buford. And then I also have the launcher Gail Buford, which unfortunately broke the second day I owned it. But what you would do is you would take this top part off and like flip it over and load cars into it and push down on her hat to launch them, but unfortunately, as it just said, that broke. There's nothing really inside since it's a launcher, not a play set. Then I also have something like this from Planes. This is Cabby from Planes Fire and Rescue. He just stores vehicles in the back there. I don't have anything in him, like I said. Then for the Mini Adventures line, I have Trev the Train here, who also stores things. The doors open up like they're wings for some reason, but that is how you load the cars in. And finally, I have the Mini Racer Mack Transporter, which is the only thing that I actually keep cars in. This is where I keep the spare Mini Racers I was talking about earlier. So these are all the cars that I store inside of Mack. Again, these are just all my spare Mini Racers from all the different 3-packs and everything. There are also some unfinished customs in here that I don't really have a desire to complete, so I just leave them here instead of with my Mini Racer collection so that it doesn't get redundant. So that's not like, here's Cruz and McQueen, here's another Cruz and McQueen with no change. And speaking of which, here's Cruz and McQueen as the first car, the metallic Dynaco McQueen, 2 additional Cars 3 McQueens, another Muddy McQueen. This was a Mini Racer version of that blue Redline McQueen that I never finished. I got 2 Maters, a red Ramon that I never finished. It was going to be a Lightning Ramon, I believe. Got a spare Flo, a spare Cruz and Dynaco Cruz, 2 spare Jackson Storms, and an unfinished Racer Custom, 2 spare APBs, and a spare Fishtail. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of my entire Cars Diecast collection, with over 700 cars. If you made it to the end of this video, or even just watched a little bit at the beginning or in the middle or wherever, I want to thank you so much for watching, and once again, for supporting me and my channel, and my journey of collecting Cars Diecast. Anyway guys, I'll see you all tomorrow for more new videos. Bye now. Claude Scruggs, sorry.